Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with a 2024 Lexus TX. This is brand new to Lexus. Uh, this is actually a prototype. Production models are now entering dealerships. I believe it's January 2024. So,
This review brought to you by Massaging Seats.
anyway, this is the newest in the Lexus lineup. It's not necessarily replacing anything because Lexus had an empty spot where this is fitting. This, for all intents and purposes, is basically the Lexus version of the Toyota Highlander. So the new Highlander has a lot of good stuff to it. This has that same good stuff plus the Lexus treatment and Lexus styling. So it fits a spot that didn't have anything in it before. The RX with the L package, so the longer RX, really wasn't big enough to fit this spot, and the GX and others going up the line were full SUVs. They were truck-based and much larger. So this kind of fits right where a lot of buyers are in this market. It's a functional 3-row, meaning the third row is actually usable by adults. It has lots of cargo space, plenty of seating, room in every direction, in every seat. Just really well done. So let's talk about this. So what's going on here is under the hood, you have a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, putting out 275 horsepower. Puts it out pretty well. It goes to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Front-wheel drive is standard. All-wheel drive is optional. You get it for about $1,600. So pretty good setup there. This is the 300 model, I think. I think it's the 300. I don't think they're calling it 350. So this is the 300. There is a hybrid model coming soon, sometime this year, and then very much expect to see Lexus do their whole, sport package and all that kind of stuff, F-Sport, whatever, to it sometime as well. Maybe not till next year, but we'll see. So you have a really nice setup as far as the engine goes. The power is pretty good. My only complaint is the transmission. The transmission does not like to shift, not between gears, but from, say, park to drive, reverse to drive, etc., because it hesitates. That was a problem with a couple of other vehicles that were not Lexus models before, so I suspect it'll be something that will be fixed in mapping down the road. It is not a safety concern. It's not that much of a hesitation, but it is an annoyance hesitation. Lexus is really good about fixing things that are annoying, as long as they're not infotainment. So I'll get to infotainment later because this is the new Lexus. This is much better. Let's talk about design a little bit because this is very nicely designed. And then we'll get into the working end, the interior, and all the other stuff. And I'll give you some of my complaints and some of the high points of this thing. Now let's talk about design. So you can see 20-inch wheels. Those are standard on this. They go up from there in various packages. But what I want to show you really is the design of the bodywork. This is a very Lexus thing. We've seen a couple of other Lexus models that are similar, but this is a bit of an evolution. So you see the hood is way up here. It flattens and then has a peak and then comes down again, creating this fender. And you have this line that comes off the light and runs across. Now, two things. One, there's a lot of gap right here and none right here. It's very sealed but open under here. What I've noticed on the highway is that because of this, you will get a little bit of going on right here. You don't hear anything, but you will see the hood move a little bit. And that's a little disconcerting. That bothers me. But looking at the lines, it's beautiful. So you have that running across like here. You have this line created here that makes the belt line going across. You see it comes and then dips deeply down here, making a very fat belt. It's about a hand's width wide there. And that goes along, and this, by the way, mirrors what's happening down here on the fender. So very cool there. Runs along and then sharply comes up. So very, very quickly jumps back up. And then you have this delete look so that you have a floating roof. no pillar, right? So the pillar's covered to make it look like a floating roof. They did the same in the center pillars here. And then you can see this chrome piece is running along and then arrows at the end there. Creates a nice movement, right? So the car is going forward as that goes back. Very, very cool there. The belt line isn't flat, it is curved, so it's in the sort of a S curve like this, a backwards S, forwards S, I mean. And that makes a lot of light movement across here. It's good shelving. And then down here you have that other cut that creates the bodywork coming in, creates more light movement down there. And then you have that kind of faux rocker panel happening on the bottom to give it a lift, to make it look sturdier by lifting it up a little bit through that the design of this. Then you'll see these beautiful Lexus wheels. Only Lexus does wheels like this. They're just wonderful looking. Back on the back, we have the bulbous tail lamps that stick out. This is a Toyota Lexus thing. It is actually a vortex creator. There's actually a vortex nub right here, creator, and then the whole thing acts as another one to help stir the air on the edge here, which lessens the amount of suction happening back here which is a aerodynamic drag on the car. So very well done. Overhangs are very wide in the back, short in the front, gives it a heavier look, makes it look rear driven and beefy. Again, SUV styling, very, very well done. This is a unibody vehicle. It is not a body on frame or truck based vehicle. So that's kind of it there. You have little vortex things on the side mirrors. You have surround view cameras on this particular model. You have some, these door handles are not physical, they don't move. There's a button right here that moves them. If you have to get access to the vehicle, there is a way to push this cover off and get to the keyhole. I think it's this cover, it might be this one. But there is a way to pop this off and use a physical key. And then on the inside, same thing. The door handles are electric. I'll show you a photo. They are electric. You push and push the door out. If for any reason the electrics don't work, you can pull that handle out and it acts as a lever to also undo the door. So it's a Lexus thing. It's kind of new. A lot of people aren't used to it. My wife complained about it. She doesn't like, why would you reinvent something that's been working for 30 years kind of thing. And I, in some ways, agree. But I do like little things like that that are easy to get used to over time and really kind of make the vehicle different without being like a complete annoyance. Like shifters below the steering wheel where you can't see them and stuff like that. It's annoying. But anyway, I think that's it for design. Let's go look at the working end and then we'll talk about the interior. Okay, back here on the back, it is a 350, so I was wrong earlier. Anyway, back here on the back, you can see it's pretty flat. This doesn't have too much of a rake at all, and then this is pretty flat going here overall, and then lots of little lines so the lights carry around, and a couple, just those little things to give it some style. There's no tow kit on this. As far as I know, there is no tow rating for this vehicle. There could be, and I might be wrong, but I don't believe there is. Sacrifice of having a tiny little turbo. If there is one, I'd be amazed if it's more than 3,500 pounds. So I got a bunch of junk in the back because that's what it's for. These are 40-pound bags of wood pellets. So you can see I've got 3 across. That'll give you an idea of the width. It's pretty spacious, very large. These big garbage bags are full of clothes my daughter needs to donate to the thrift store. So those are stuffed full garbage bags. Gives you an idea of what with the third row down, what you got going on back there. Lots and lots of cargo space in here. It's beauty. I just wish there was a little more organization. Ways to make a shelf or something back here. Underneath all of this is the inflation kit or spare tire, depending on what you opt for. So, all right, let's go look at the interior for seating. This particular model has the captain's chair seatings. So there's a big console in the middle. That console is removable. You can pull the latch and slide the thing out and stick it in your garage or whatever. But it does have drink holders, which I will show you a photo of them. They're really cool, but they come out. Really easy to clean. You can just take this into the kitchen sink or whatever, hose it down, let it dry, stick it back in. There's no electronics involved. Very, very cool, and it just snaps back into place, done. Or you can remove those, throw them in the storage bin or somewhere in the vehicle and have a bigger storage area instead. Same up front, exact same system. They are swappable, so if you can't mix them up. So very cool there. Also, these seats are nice. They're not the best, but they're not terrible. You can see I have tons of foot room to go underneath the seat in front of me. This seat is set for me. I am 6'3", and this is actually slid back an inch or so for the entry exit slide that they do. And then you can see with me in here, I've got, that's a good 2 inches of headspace going between the bottom of my thumb and the top of my fingers there. That's about 2 inches. That's a lot of headroom in this with the panoramic sunroof. So that's a pretty big deal. The windows on this have the manual shades. It's a Mark Levinson stereo in this, which sounds really good throughout. Very, very nice stereo. Bluetooth can be a little choppy on your connection right at the beginning, then it tends to solidify. That's true across the board of Lexus vehicles and Toyota, everyone I've been in. Just a matter of how that Bluetooth seems to function. I'll show you some more infotainment later. I may do an interior walkthrough on this if I have some more time. Adjustable seating, they slide back and forth and up and down. So down here is a something or other that you grab, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's over here. There it is. And that will allow you to slide the seat back and forth. You can use this to tilt and pull forward. And then there's a button back there in the third row that can be pushed to make these seats tilt up so you can get in and out. Again, I'll show you that. And then, yeah, that's kind of the highlights. Let's go look at the driver's seat. Up here in the driver's seat, it's really comfortable. Lexus is known for that. They did not skimp on this one. Very, very comfy. Electronic on this one for sliding back and forth, but just nicely done. The feel is good. The drive quality is pretty good in this, other than the couple of things I've mentioned with the hesitation. Otherwise, great drive quality. Now you will hear the engine when you're pressing it. So when you're making that freeway on-ramp or other things, you will hear that 4-cylinder turbo really doing its thing, but you will never feel like it's not going to be able to do it. Really good setup. It's a nice balanced power for efficiency going on up there. The rear view mirror is both camera and mirror. So I have it on mirror right now because when it's on camera back there, it feels way too close. I don't know. It's positioning. It's just not positioned well for this vehicle. It feels like I can't actually see what's behind me because everything is just sucked up too close. Everybody looks like they're tailgating you. Not a good placement for that camera. Otherwise, I love those cameras if they're done right, and I just feel like it wasn't done right in this vehicle. But otherwise, you have the usual, your taco holder and all the other good stuff. I really like the seating, the Toyota slash Lexus style shifter. You know, it's everything from the Prius on up. Prius. Everything from the Prius on up has this, and it's meh. But USB-Cs pretty much exclusively for your plugs in here. So be aware of that if that's something you need to know. I will do an interior walkthrough because I feel like this vehicle really needs one. So I will definitely do an interior walkthrough, and I will reference that down below. So yeah, let's wrap all this up. That should wrap it up for the 2024 Lexus TX. Again, all new for this year, all new for Lexus, and like I said, to summarize it, it is basically the Lexus version of the Toyota Highlander, which is not a bad thing. The Highlander is an excellent 3-row SUV. This is also an excellent 3-row SUV. Couple of little complaints that I have with it. They're relatively small. The annoyance of the gear shift and the positioning of the rear camera for the rear view mirror, and just a couple of small details like that I think will iron out over time, but none of those are deal breakers at all. This is very well done, and I think there is a very very needy market for this. There's a lot of people looking for this, and they weren't able to find it at Tesla or at Tesla. There's a lot of people looking for this, and they weren't able to find it at Lexus until now. So there you go, 2024 Lexus TX. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.